Hi, Derek.
Sir, thank you very much for joining us. I'm very excited to talk to you. The last time I actually saw you in person was like a couple years ago at Sundance. I believe it was a woman's in film function. And so, if I would have known 2 years later that no one's going to be able to talk to each other or see each other, I might have asked you more questions. But I'm very glad to talk to you about this film. First and foremost, I have to ask, um, when it comes to this house and this story, have you ever actually lived in a house yourself that you kind of felt had a spirit?
No, I haven't, and it's interesting because I've done quite a few movies that have sort of a supernatural or spiritual kind of element, and a lot of times I've been asked if I've ever had any kind of supernatural or close encounters or seen a ghost, and I just haven't. I'm open to it. I would love to. I'd love to, hear some footsteps on the ceiling or whatever it happens to be, but as of yet, I haven't had it.
Can you tell us a little bit about Theo?
Theo is a guy who is on his second marriage and is married to a woman who's way too young for him. And he has a lot of doubts about her fidelity. He's a guy who is kind of fallen victim to anxiety and paranoia in his advancing age. But they do have a daughter who's 6 years old, and my wife, played by Amanda Seyfried, is an actress, and so she's involved with a crew and is making films and living a life that I don't really understand too well, and is also causing me this kind of paranoia. So we go away on a vacation before she's about to start work, and we rent a house in Wales in the middle of the countryside. And to say that we picked the wrong house on the website would be an understatement.
Definitely. And, I want to ask too, when it comes to acting a role like this, when you have a child actor with you, especially when it comes to horror, I mean, how do you follow the character, but at the same time, make sure that she's okay and she's understands everything too? Like, how do you go down that rabbit hole?
I appreciate you mentioning that because it's very, very important to me. I don't really think that any movie is worth giving a child a terrifying experience or making them feel unsafe. So the first thing I do is that I, try to introduce myself and make myself available to their parent and to their caretaker. In the case of Avery, she was, I think, 6 years old when we made the movie, and had not really acted much before. So I said to her, very honestly, we're going to be pretending to do things, and I'm going to be pretending to like yell and get upset. I'm going to have crazy looks on my face, but we're professional pretenders, and this is make believe. So I just want you to know that once we say cut, then then we're done with it, and then we'll maybe do it again, and you're going to get a chance to do it too. And so once you kind of establish that sort of trust, then I think it's easier to go to those places that you obviously need to go.
For sure. I have to ask as a fan, it's been 25 years since Apollo 13. Is there a moment still from that film that still makes you smile? That you kind of think back on? Maybe it's not even part of the shoot, but just something that just sticks with you.
Sure. Well, one of the things that makes me smile in general is the late great Bill Paxton, who was just a really fun guy and very, very funny and very gung ho about making the film. And we spent a lot of time in our suits, strapped into the chairs in the command module for the takeoff. That was a pretty long section of filming, and we would all be able to hear each other with just me and Bill and Tom Hanks and Ron Howard. And while we were sitting there waiting for everybody to light and get set up, we would just have these chats. And I'm in some ways, I'm really happy that nobody recorded it, and in other ways, I really wish I could have heard it because they were hilarious and honest and funny. And sometimes we'd have to get ready. They said, okay, now you're ready to shoot. And we were laughing so hard that we had to just kind of wipe the tears away and get back to, stress.
Well, that sounds amazing. Well, I want to thank you so much for joining us. I love this movie. I love your role in it, and I'm excited for everyone to have this opportunity to have this movie in their homes. So, thank you very much, and have a great day.
Thanks, man.